Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a recent crisis that has resurfaced related to the Rohingya refugees specifically, and how and why they are risking their life while crossing the sea to go from Myanmar to the neighboring countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, India and even Bangladesh. So let us try to understand overall the genesis, origin of this refugee crisis and why the situation is getting worse and worse with the passing time. So first of all, to give you the context of this particular issue that we are discussing about, very recently a search and rescue team of Indonesian Navy, they have saved almost 69 people in the sea hours after their foundering boat capsized following a long journey which they were taking from the Bangladesh. The incident basically is a reflection of the growing desperation that is driving the refugees to flee Myanmar, and also the overcrowded relief camps in Bangladesh for the safer other Southeast Asian countries. And as per the United Nations High Commission for Refugees or UNHCR, it is believed that more than 4,500 Rohingya refugees set off on a dangerous journeys across the Bay of Bengal as well as in the Andaman Sea in the last year itself. Out of these 4,500 people, 569 people lost their life or have been reported as missing, marking the highest death toll that we have recorded since year 2014. Now, who are the Rohingya? If we try to understand about them, basically they are a Muslim minority ethnic group who have been residing in Myanmar and who believe their root lies in the Arakan kingdom in Myanmar, which was also formerly known as Burma. If you talk about them, as per the Council on Foreign Relations, the term or the name Rohingya derives from two words. First word is Rohang, that means Arakan, that is the name of mountain on the western coast of Myanmar, and the Ga or Gya means from. That means Rohingya means the people who are from the Arakan region. Now the Rohingya claim to have lived in Myanmar's Rakhine state, actually where the Arakan mountain is situated, for generations and generations. However, the successive government in the Myanmar, they have rejected this claim and they have said that these Rohingya refugees, basically Muslims in the Myanmar, are not the real resident or inhabitant of Myanmar, rather they are illegal immigrants who have came in the earlier time from the neighboring state or country of Bangladesh. If we try to understand this all geographic on the map, we can see this is the Myanmar. Here we have Bangladesh and then here we have India. So Arakan region basically is situated in this Rakhine state, which we have discussed, lying in the coastal part of Myanmar, and it is having a close border with Bangladesh. So that is why also, as we can see, that it is open to Bay of Bengal. And if you try to understand, we have in the lower side Indonesia, Malaysia and other countries are there. Here we have India as well. So these countries are basically are the regions where refugees from Myanmar or from the Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh, where a large refugee camp has been established, are trying to flee from using the Bay of Bengal maritime route. Now, overall, if you look at the Myanmar domestic politics, we are having two groups. One, Rohingya, who are Muslims, and other is the majority. Myanmar is a Buddhist majority country. So, if you compare Rohingya and Buddhist, what you can say that Rohingyas are culturally and religiously, in both sense, they are a distinct group. Second, if you compare the languages of these groups also, we can see that where Rohingya speak Bengali dialect, it is different from the common Burmese language that is spoken by the majority Buddhist population. And Myanmar thus has refused to recognize them as an ethnic group of Myanmar, denying them citizenship since 1982, thus making them, as per United Nations, world's largest stateless population devoid of any fundamental rights and security. Because obviously, for any person, any individual, any citizen, the fundamental rights and security can be ascertained only if he is considered as citizens of any state, and Rohingyas are stateless. Myanmar's 1982 citizenship law that was basically passed by the parliament, they believe that members of Rohingya community along with other ethnic minorities can only attain citizenship of Myanmar if and only if they prove their ancestors resided in Myanmar before 1823. Otherwise, even if one of their parents is Myanmar citizen, they are deemed to be resident foreigner or associated citizen. That means they are not granted full citizenship rights. Now, why have Rohingyas fled their homeland? So obviously we can understand they have been denied any kind of claim on the Myanmar's territory, and the problem emerged at a bigger level in year 2012, where a military crackdown was triggered due to the death of a woman in the Rohingya dominated area, which flared tensions between the Rohingya and Rakhine's Buddhist community. Due to this kind of tension further in the coming year led to escalating tensions in the region, and this escalating tension has often erupted into a violence, leading hundreds of thousands of Rohingyas to abandon their home and seek refuge in the neighboring countries, including India. The largest scale of exodus that we can see happened in the August 2017, which drove more than 7.5 lakh people to seek sanctuary in the border areas of Bangladesh to escape the brutality of the military forces and the security forces of Myanmar. Thus, United Nations described the 2017 violence as ethnic cleansing and the humanitarian situation as of catastrophic nature. Now, one thing we have discussed at the beginning of the video, that most of Rohingyas are taking arduous and difficult sea journey. So what is the reason behind that? So obviously, first of all, as we have seen in the map earlier, nearby Myanmar's border in Bangladesh, we have a place called as Cox's Bazar, and it is world's largest and most densely populated refugee camp housing Rohingyas. But the problem is that due to the large scale population of these refugee camps, these camps lack any kind of basic human necessities, basic human amenities, and this has forced Rohingyas to live in a very harsh condition. For example, the reasons behind their movement out of Cox's Bazar can be said to be lack of basic facilities, such as there is unhygienic situation, there is lack of food, there is lack of water, there is lack of sanitation facilities, there is what you can say decrepit health or education infrastructure. Second, these areas are also highly susceptible to weather related disasters, especially such as storms, rains and flooding, because you know that Bay of Bengal is one of the most cyclone prone region in the world. Third, security conditions also have deteriorated over the years due to gang violence, because if millions and millions of people are living in that area, some people choose the path of violence, path of crime, and thus many gangs has emerged in this Cox's Bazar refugee camps, which keep on fighting with each other, that has resulted into loss of life of innocent civilians as well. And over 60 Rohingyas were killed in Bangladeshi camp clashes that happened in last year 2023. So an increasing number of Rohingyas have been undertaking dangerous and often deadly journeys across the Bay of Bengal as well as in the Andaman Sea to the Muslim majority nations of Indonesia and Malaysia for finding better life opportunities. So these are some other factors that we can identify which also have caused Rohingyas to move out from these camps, such as insecurity in refugee camps, limited opportunities for legal pathways to third country solutions, forced or arranged marriages that are being done here perceived as mitigation of protection risk for women and girls, lack of effective protection by the state authorities, family reunification including arranged marriages, difficult conditions which they are living or forced to live in exile, root causes of displacement not being addressed either by Myanmar or by Bangladesh government or by at the global scale also like UN and other organizations that we can talk about, limiting the prospect of return in the near future. Most of the Rohingyas, they do not believe that in the near future they will have any hope or any possibility to turn back to their own home, that is in the Rakhine state of Myanmar. So these are the factors that has compelled Rohingyas to travel by sea, also if there is a possibility to travel by land, and in many cases what they are doing is they are trying to enter Bangladesh, and then through Bangladesh by illegal migration route they are trying to enter into India, especially the northeastern part of India, which also Intelligence Bureau and Ministry of Home Affairs in year 2018 claimed to be one of the major challenges that are threatening the internal security of India. So again, if you try to look at the map here, these are the major routes that are being shown. For example, this is the main this Rakhine region of Myanmar that we can see from here. So from this Rakhine region, by land route if we talk about, these are the major land routes from Myanmar to Bangladesh, and as we discussed from Bangladesh to India and East India such as West Bengal, or from Myanmar to Bangladesh and then from Bangladesh further to the Meghalaya and from Meghalaya further to the Assam. Not only that, many times people are trying to cross into India, and again from India they are trying to cross back into Myanmar. Then from Myanmar there is a land route that also goes to Thailand. From Thailand they are trying to go to Malaysia, Singapore and these countries. And this blue line is representation of the sea routes, that is by ships they are trying to go either to Sri Lanka or to, you can see, Thailand or to Indonesia, Malaysia and all these countries. So this is overall mapping of the Rohingyas migration. Now, rising death toll is something that is a serious situation here, because as per UN estimates, 1 out of the 8 Rohingya who take the sea route dies or disappears in the attempt, making the Andaman Sea and the Bay of Bengal among the deadliest stretches of water in the world. As per United Nations Human Rights Commission, 63% increase in deaths or disappearances happened just in last year compared to a year before, that is in 2022. And in contrast, only 170% drop in land movement has happened before. The UNHCR report also said that 7 tragic accidents at sea has happened, resulting in 250 confirmed deaths and 319 persons missing in 2023, along with widespread reports of physical abuse, gender-based violence among the survivors that we have reported. Now, what we can say in conclusion, that alarmed by this kind of situation unfolding in the Southeast Asia, United Nations Refugee Agency has called on regional coastal authorities to take timely action to prevent such tragedies. Saving lives and rescuing those who are at distress in the sea is a humanitarian imperative and long-standing duty under the international maritime law. However, Rohingya's death at sea persists till death because no significant action has been taken to prevent so. So that is all for this particular video. I hope you understood the brief topic and briefly about the crisis that is about the Rohingya refugees. That is all for this video. Thank you very much.